Morning. It's Yvonne back to do your readings. Thank you so much for all the support and love you've sent my way. Um, I said yesterday I finished off a contract with one person and I've just moved into a job part-time. I'm going to be working Monday, Thursday, Friday, which will free me up Tuesday and Wednesdays for readings and being able to do a little bit of extra work on what I love most. Um, for those of you who have missed me, and I know a lot of people have been contacting me for readings, I will open up Tuesday, Wednesday on my Calendly on my website, www.theaussiegoddess.com. So if you're interested in doing that, I'm still doing coaching. So I'm still available for coaching if you're interested in coaching. And we'll see how we go. Things could change again. I quite like change, so it's not a problem for me. So, so if you want a personal reading, www.theaussiegoddess.com. I still will have limited time available for those of you who usually email me that have been doing that for many years. You can still continue to do the same. All right, let's get into your daily reading. So back doing the What's Cracking readings. I am still using the Muse Tarot, so I do probably need to have a little bit of a break. Oh, I love this. So we're starting off with the Strength card, card Leo. For me, represents always the month of August, and has sort of, it's significant. So the month of August will be significant. If you've been waiting for change, you've been waiting for something to come around, then for me that means that August will be the month that you're looking to. You could always be dealing with a Leo. You could be a Leo yourself, being it's a general read. But there's some significance to the Strength card. So what this talks about for me is, maybe you've invested a lot of time and energy into your personal growth. Maybe you've been really focused on yourself for the last period of time, the last year or whatever. But for me, the Strength card tells me that you have sort of grown from where you may have been a year ago. And sometimes when I'm working with people, especially in coaching, and they say to me, I feel that I'm, not doing much, or I'm not going far. I always say, look back to this time last year. Where were you and how are you feeling? And very often we have grown a lot in that time, but we just don't see it until we look right back. So for me, this is a lot of personal growth. Now, for some of you here, you may have been working on your higher powers, your higher self, because we do have the High Priestess here. So this may be a very significant time for you in regards to broadening your horizons through your intuition. You may be thinking of moving into tarot reading or doing something along those lines. But what I feel like here is whatever this is, this growth that you've done is bringing around a very strong sense of trusting who you are, trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, like really believing in yourself, and it's coming through very, very strongly here. So we have the Nine of Wands coming through. Okay, so what I'm feeling here is Spirit is saying that you're about to close out some sort of cycle. It may be a cycle where you've really struggled with yourself or your self-identity, and I feel like you've done a lot of work on that. You're coming out the other side. And for me, the Nine of Wands probably means you've gone through a lot of repeating patterns, a lot of pain, a lot of distress. But I want to say to you, whatever work you've been doing here is really showing. Look, you have the Sun here as well. So again, we've got this energy of Leo, which means that August is a really significant month here. So I'm feeling whatever cycles that whatever you've been working on with yourself, whatever you're moving through, August feels to me like the light is coming through, the sun is shining for you. Maybe for many of us, it's the end of something that perhaps has really weighed us down. It feels to me like it might be a more internal thing, so you may have been sort of really bogged down by something, but to me that the light is shining through. I feel like you're letting go of some sort of, look at this, you've got the Chariot here as well. You're letting go of some sort of stresses or energies that have held you back. And you may have worked with those. It may have been something that's been very sort of difficult to move through, but the Chariot tells me you are moving forward here, and we do have the Seven of Cups after that. So there does seem to be this sort of door opening, or this new horizons sort of opening for you. So it's like you've let go of that sort of energy of being held back. So maybe you've let go of the past, maybe you've let go of past relationships, maybe you've released people who haven't really been part of your long journey. But whatever it is, you're certainly moving into better times now. All right, let's get right into the reading. Okay, so I have the King of Swords coming through as the first card. Wow, okay. For some of you, you may be divorcing here or letting go of a previous relationship. We do have the Hanged Man. And we do have the Queen. Oh, wow, okay. To me, this is all about being able to sort of grasp or take hold of what you want moving forward. You're letting go, you're cutting out things that no longer serve you, which I always talk about. But it's like it's been a lifetime energy. So, you know, for many of us, we probably don't realize how much we hold ourselves back, or how we don't allow ourselves to grow in a way that's really fitting for what we need to do. So for me, August might be a breakthrough month in terms of finding that job that you've really been after, finding that relationship that you've been working towards, but certainly being able to cast off the darkness, casting off a lot of that sort of shadow that's held you back. But you're definitely moving into better times. I do feel here with this Hanged Man that you're seeing your life very differently now. So perhaps you are starting to understand your own worth, your own value. Beautiful energy, like being comfortable with saying no to things, feeling connected to who you are. Not fearing that conflict, not fearing that repercussions of being able to stand up for yourself. And because of this, the universe is really giving back to you here. And there's a brand new pathway opening. So you've got a new direction. It's not like a crossroads, it's like an invite to move in a new direction. Ten of Swords really shows me that the cycle is closing out. How beautiful is that? The Six of Cups. Oh, look at the Ace of Swords. Oh, I almost want to like cry at that. That's just very powerful. So this is sort of stepping into your truth, as I always say, really sort of settling into the person you were meant to be. You're shedding your past. You're shedding those things that don't really serve you anymore. But for me, you know, seeing this, the Ace of Swords and the Ten of Swords, there's a real feeling that you're freeing yourself up here to be able to talk out, speak out. Something you've been really focusing on, because this is really showing me that there's a lot of past energy being released here. So for some of you with that King of Swords up front, you've divorced, you're separated, you may be thinking of leaving a relationship, you may have... it may be a relationship with somebody else. Maybe you've had a parent figure or a friend or somebody else that's really weighed you down for a really long time. For some of you, this could actually be quite possibly a child or a dependent that you're finally coming to terms with being able to let go. Maybe you've realized that things like codependency have weighed you down in the past, and to me you've done a lot of healing around this. I know this because of these two beautiful cards. So you're really starting to trust your higher self, trusting the messages coming through, trusting that no matter what, you can love yourself, even if you are, you know, you've been through a hard time, even if it feels difficult sometimes to love the skin you're in. It's like you're really starting to sort of gel with that now. And I feel like you're letting go of a lot of things, and I feel this energy of the sun shining through. I sort of wanted to go somewhere then, and I lost the thought of it. You know, sometimes when we look externally for validation, or we look outside of ourselves for the love that we need, sometimes we don't realize that that never was there. Love is not something you get from other people. It's something that people gift to you. It's not something people have to do or are obliged to do. But ultimately, if you love yourself, you pull the love towards you anyway. So to me, it makes me feel like you're perhaps learning some of this or understanding how to love yourself. And I always think of that where I read, somewhere that, think of somebody that you really love and how much love you have for them. And then ask yourself, do I feel the same way about myself? And if the answer is no, then you're codependent. And you need to be able to say, I love myself as much as I love that other person. People sort of sometimes really balk at the whole idea of loving who they are or loving themselves. And that's really sad, because then you always hold other people responsible for your happiness, and that's not how it needs to be. All right, that card, oh, look. Beloved, radical acceptance. I always say, even when I've been away from the desk for a while, and luckily I've done some fairs in between and sort of had a bit of contact with people, and obviously been still doing some personal readings. But sometimes I'm absolutely still, after all these years, so taken back by the love that surrounds me when I'm doing readings for you. So what does it say? The object of affection, radical acceptance, and loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one you've been waiting for. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful or ugly in your being. The beloved may not be a person at all. It might be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. Love it, let it light you up, and give it your all. Surrender to the truth and know that you are getting a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you're being consumed by the fire of the beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. Usher the harsh critic out the door and shut your eyes and ears to the judgments of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you, for they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke. Be careful you're not seduced by false promises or falling prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. Sink with and sink into your heart and trust your sense of what is true, and you will know what to do. The true beloved is never false, and every gift proffered is valuable. Recognize the many faces of the beloved and welcome them into your heart. You will be so glad you did. What a beautiful card to get for that reading. That is where I'm really absolutely 100% transformed by understanding how powerful things are outside of yourself. So I'm back on board. I will have a look at what I am able to do in terms of daily readings. I do want to change my deck. At the moment, I am going to open up my calendar for Tuesdays, Wednesdays. I will be back on TikTok and Instagram as soon as I can get myself organised. And we'll see how we go with all of that. But again, much love to you for all of your support. You're checking in on me. I think some people thought that something must have happened to me, but I did put lots of stuff out there. But obviously, if you don't tune in that day, you're going to miss it. So I'll leave you with that. Much love to you all. Take care.